Twicon Franklin Isong joining us this morning from the city of Uyo. Of course, he's the Akwa Ibom State Director for CRAN. We just looked through the stakeholders meeting that they had for local government elections, and it was a really serious conversation. We'll just take his final thoughts on that particular stakeholders meeting and delve into some other issues this morning. Good morning, Franklin Twicon. So good to have you on Rise and Shine this morning. Okay.
Good morning, Uyai and Francis. You guys are doing a great job.
Good morning. Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us.
So we just finished elaborating and looking into the stakeholders meeting. So I'm going to ask, in your thoughts as the director for CRAN, do you think that the stakeholders meeting was a success, and did it achieve the intention and goal of putting that together? Do you think it will have any influence on the October 5 elections come this weekend?
Yeah, I think the purpose was achieved. The thrust of the event was to have the critical stakeholders to sit in one roof and come up with a commitment that the election will be free, fair, and credible. The event was in collaboration with AKISEC, the Akwa Ibom State Independent Electoral Commission, whose power it is to conduct election. And so we had them to commit themselves to ensuring that they will be fair to all the political parties. We have 12 political parties that are in the contest. I just heard you talk about 4 parties that you said will be exploiting it. I think there are 12 of them so far that have been cleared, that their candidates have been cleared for the pool. And so at the stakeholders engagement, you had the stakeholders committing themselves to the fact that the process should be free and fair and credible. We, as a CSO and a pro-democracy group, our interest is not the outcome. Our interest is usually and is the process that will lead to the outcome. So we ensure that the AKISEC, in this case the umpire, the security agencies, in this case the police, the DSS, the NSC, and other security agencies in the state, are assuring that they will be fair to all the parties. We also had the stakeholders such as the political parties, we had the parties candidate as well, and then the CSOs like us and the media coming together to discuss and chart a way that will help us to have a free and credible process. So at the end of the event on Monday, at the 30th of September, we are satisfied with the outcome that we were able to pull all the stakeholders together and extracted commitment that the election will be free, fair, and credible. The AKISEC reassured the parties and the candidate and the stakeholders that the result of the election will be announced first at the polling unit, then they will be collected to the ward center, and then they will be collected at the local government headquarters of AKISEC. There you can know who is your chairman at the local government headquarters, not in Uyo, where the AKISEC office is. So what you can only have in Uyo will be after they have announced who has emerged at the local government level, then they will now collect all the results to the state headquarters, and then AKISEC will just make a pronouncement after getting returns from the local government returning officer. So that is how it will be, and this is how it ought to be. And we are happy that AKISEC had promised that this is how it will be, and then we got the security agencies like the police and the DSS assuring that they will police the system, that it will not be hijacked, it will be violence free, talks will not go and intimidate voters, and then we will ensure that there will be no vote buying, that the process will be devoid of vote buying. The EFCC will be on ground to ensure that anyone caught doing, trying to indulge in vote buying will be arrested and will be arraigned according to the law of the land. So for us, the process was a better, the meeting was a better, got a better meeting that gave all the stakeholders opportunity to come and ventilate and commit themselves to ensuring that we have a better process. Now that is one. The meeting was supposed to have a peace accord signed, which was not signed because all the parties were not on ground. You recall that I think last week we lost our first lady, so parties campaign were suspended. So throughout last week there was no campaign. So this week the campaign resumed on Monday is the same day that the event took place. So all the political parties that ought to come and sign the accord were not on ground to sign. So what we now did was to hand over the peace park to Akisek chairman, who was there represented, who will now invite the parties and invite us, invite the police and other security agencies, and invite the CSOs and the press to come and witness the peace accord being signed in Akisek office. On a whole, I think the meeting was well turned out and it got what we wanted.
You've already answered some of the follow-up questions that I would have asked concerning the presence of candidates and the impact it's going to have on the election. So, but let's move because, I mean, we're already pressed for time. I know that you listened to the president's speech yesterday marking the 64th anniversary of the country. Well, to some extent, a well-anticipated speech by some Nigerians, and also a speech that a lot of Nigerians did not expect anything less than what it delivered or more than what it delivered to Nigerians. But let's also look at some key indices and, some statement that the president made that have already started brewing several controversies. We saw once again the president reeling out the accomplishment of his administration in the last 15 to 16 months. And holistically, this doesn't sit very well with a lot of Nigerians. Before we go into each of these issues, I'd like for you to give us your thoughts generally with regards to the president's speech. Do you think that it met the need of the moment?
I think, to say the least, the president was just self-glorifying. His speech was empty. His speech did not address the issues on ground. He seemed to have lost touch with Nigerians. He did not actually tackle the issues that we were expecting that he would tackle. The speech, like the cable even had to fact check. Most of what was said by him were lies. We are fact checked according to the cable. They were fact checked. They were seen to have been, lies. And I wonder why the president's speech writers could, put up a speech for president to come and address Nigeria on October Day, the day of Akwa Ibom Independence Day celebration. That was it was the worst speech ever that one could ever expect from Mr. President and his speech writers. And like some other persons have said, the head of those who put those lies in the president's speech should roll. There is no need to spare anyone who has misled the president. The president will not come out to know what is happening on the field, on the ground. His team are the ones that will tell him, and what they put for him is what he reads. There was no need. There was no fact checking. There was no cross checking of those things that were put out until they were presented. So the president, to say the least, and his team are living in a fool's paradise because what he read out were not on ground. The achievement he said he has made, we've not seen them. He was blaming the past government of President Muhammadu Buhari, which he brought. So you can see that the president completely lost touch with reality. Maybe because the speech writer did not actually do a good job to have actually captured what Nigerians were saying. On the day of Mr. President's address, the Independence Day, Nigerians were on the street protesting. What were they saying? There is hunger. There is poverty. People are dying on a daily basis. The cost of living is high. Inflation rates are high. You are talking about your achievement. Who will listen to you? What have you achieved? The president missed it. He missed the point. There is need for the president to do a review of his policy. You see, in governance, you don't grandstand. You don't rule by pride and ego. And you say you have made a policy, the policy must be there. You're making a policy for Nigerians, and Nigerians have come out to reject the policies. What you should do is to go back to the drawing board and do a review. From the first day the president made the speech, which is on the May 29, 2023, till today, one speech he made that has been rejected by all Nigerians is first subsidy is gone. Today, how much is fuel per liter? How much is fuel at the pump price? I heard you talk about the Port Harcourt refinery. This is what we've been saying. People have been there that have been, receiving salaries. We have 4 refineries that are not producing. If the refineries were to be Mr. President's industry, his private industry, will he keep that structure of people there? He won't keep them. What are those people doing there when they're not able to refine a liter of petrol? He said they are importing. And we now put all our hopes on Dangote refinery. And you could see the drama playing between Dangote group and the NNPC. All the NNPC does now is to import. So they have refineries that they ought to be producing. They're not producing. The economy is collapsed completely. President has taken us, President Buhari took us 50 years backward. He has come to add his own 20 years within a period of 16 months. So what we are saying,
those are really strong.
Lost touch with reality.
Yeah. Okay, so but in speaking about some of the successes that the Tinubu-led administration have accrued to themselves, it's about really cutting down the ways and means loans, the debts that have been accrued. Now, he said he met it at about 97%, and it has reduced under his dispensation to about 65%. When you're saying that the debt burden of a nation, which stood at over 90%, has been reduced to 65%, Crown Director, that is a lot of success to have been registered by an administration under 16 months in power. But I know that there are several agencies that have come out to say that it is not true, that the ways and means, debt has been reduced to about 65%. What are your thoughts?
We are still saying the same thing. The president's speechwriters misled Mr. President to lie to Nigerians. The president went to United Nations General Assembly to beg for loan forgiveness, loan pardon. The whole thing we could be asking for is to go and beg for loan to a debt pardon. That is the only thing you could be saying throughout his address. The giant of Africa, why can't you tackle corruption within your system? I have just mentioned one body that has so far been, pronounced the worst corrupt empire, which is the NNPC. Has there been a proof on NNPC? Why should a body like NNPC be importing petrol when you have refineries that are not functioning? And you have billions that have been wasted about in your country, and you go and be asking for debt pardon. That is such kind of a shameful outing. The president, I think the speech writers are not doing him any good. That is why we are calling for the head of those who put those things there to roll. Because you cannot lead our president to go and be deceiving us with speeches that are not, that are not being fact-checked. What achievement have you made? The cardinal aim of government is to provide welfare and security to Nigerians. Go to the street today. People, let me give you a clear scenario. Parents who do school runs will pick their children with who owns car, will use their car, pick their children to school, and park the car, and use tricycle or keke or bike, and go back to their houses. And then, when it is time to go and pick the kid, they will now use keke or bike and go to the school, pick their children with their vehicle, and come back because they want to minimize the cost, the use of fuel. The president talked about CNG. The CNG kit and the CNG buses, where are they in Akwa Ibom? Where are they in the South? Have you seen any of them? None. Why didn't you put these mechanisms in place, these policies in place before you now remove fuel subsidy? That is why, if you have now noticed, when you make a policy and you are taking much time to explain the benefit, the gains, it means that policy has failed, or has already failed its purpose. The policy should speak for itself. You are grandstanding when you made a bad policy. You remove fuel subsidy when you don't have a team to advise you. You float Naira. Today, Naira is on a free fall. Naira today is on a free fall. Nigerians are on a daily basis protesting on the street, calling for you to revise that policy, and you are here explaining to who? The day he was speaking to us, we are on the street protesting, and he is, reading lengthy speeches. What gain are you making? You are making a policy that Nigerians are rejecting, and you are still telling us that it is on the way. It is on the way to giving us, Eldorado, light at the end of the tunnel. We are in the tunnel where we don't have a single light. Why can't you make us to see a little small light? Today, the economy has been, destroyed. The middle class has been completely pulled off. The government that is running government of palliatives. All you do is share rice and gari. I heard you talk about government sharing more palliative rice to the state. That is what the government has been doing. Who is asking for palliative? We are asking for you to give us the enabling environment. So the government has already failed All the achievement is real art he has achieved. We've not seen them. We've not seen any. Cost of living is high. You are paying. Let's even look at. You are paying minimum wage of 70,000. Let's even take it that you are paying 70,000 as minimum wage, which is yet to be implemented. Today, a petrol is cost, a liter is between 1,600 to 1,800 a liter, depending on where you are buying it from. Now, if you are buying petrol 1,600 a liter and you are paid a minimum wage of 70,000, you carry your minimum wage and buy petrol. It will not even fill your tank. It won't give you up to 30 liters. Your minimum wage at 70,000, which is not even yet coming. Now let's use the one that is currently in place, which is 30,000 naira. Carry your minimum wage, which you have labored for in the whole month of the civil service. Go and buy petrol today. It will not give you up to 20 liters. Your minimum wage. How much Gary today a bag? How much is rice? How much is a tuber of yam? How much are food items? The cost of living is high, and the president is forcing down devilish and the satanic policy on us, telling us that all will be well. When will it all be well? Nigerians are dying on a daily basis. Go and buy drugs today at pharmacies. They are expensive. Everything is completely turning upside down. The country is being ruled in a revised motion. That's it. At 64, Nigerians are eloping the country, leaving the country. Today, a friend of mine who stays abroad called me. He called me, and we are trying to compare notes. And he was telling me that look, that he suffered the pain because his siblings here call him on a daily basis to take care of house rent, take care of living and the rest. So the little savings he's making abroad is going down, take care of the hardship that is going on in the country. That is the truth. So the president promising he has done this, he has done that for me, and for some of us who are critical minded, the president government has failed and has taken us backward. He should do a revisal of his policies, revise those policies that he brought on us, instead of grandstanding, instead of coming to justify it and giving us self-glorifying addresses that it will be well at the end of the day. You are trying to convoke youth conference of what benefit? Youth conference that the youth are on the street protesting. What other conference do you need? You have seen the youth, what they are carrying out as placards, what they are asking for you to do. They have listed out items as demands. And you are saying you want to now call them and put them in one place and feed them for 1 month. Are these youth applicants, are they not working? Who will leave? You, two of you are in your studio because you are working. If you're not gainfully employed, if you are employed, will you leave your job and go and stay in Abuja for 1 month?
Okay. No, the president
and then they will
wants
have to guide them. What is the truth? That's the truth.
But the president wants the youth to come together and innovatively bring about solutions to the myriad of Nigerians' problems. That's what he says the 30 days confab is going to be about. Francis, I think you wanted to ask a question.
Well, because we're running out of time, Director, I'd just like to take your mind back. We've been told, as far as the federal government is concerned, we are losing 362 million barrels of crude oil within a lifespan of 2023, up until 2023. And the excuse that has been given is inappropriate or poor measurement. That is one of the excuses the federal government has given to us. Now, if we were to multiply that by the current price of crude oil in the market, it means Nigeria is losing billions of US dollars. And the government excuse is poor measurement. What's your reaction to this?
You see, I have just told you, corruption is what is killing this country, killing the economy. We have thought that president will do a different. Who is the Minister of Petroleum? Who is speaking to us? That's the point. President came and became the Minister of Petroleum and poor measurement. Who is the one that should be responsible? President should take all the blames because he is the Minister of Petroleum. That being said, President should tell us why we have not been able to refine a liter of petrol under his watch as Minister of Petroleum. Issue of crude oil theft. There is successful crude oil theft without internal collaborators from those at the top. So it is simple. The president should be able to have a team that will help in giving a better and sound economic team. All these blame games, pushing of blames will not help Mr. President to achieve the aim that he wants to achieve. If there is any, the issue in Abuja is completely a waste of time. The youth have told you what they want. I'm speaking to you here. I'm telling you what the youth want. In case you did not know, the youth are protesting on a daily basis. They have listed out what they want. Why don't you address those issues than assembling these youth in Abuja and we, put them in one room and guide the outcome? We have had conferences. Under Jonathan in 2012. We had conference. We have had confabs. What are the report? It's just a waste of time and to divert attention from what the youth are asking for. The youth have told you what they want. Revise the fuel subsidy that you remove. Cancel the policy that you are floating naira and fix our economy. When you do these things, you will get it right. Leave about this, window dress that he is trying to do. Those who are telling him to do such kind of policy are only just wasting buying time. The Nigerian problem today is epilepsy. President is treating malaria and typhoid. What the country is facing is epilepsy. You should get the right diagnosis and address it. Get experts. If the team that you have failed, dismiss them. Get a sound team to advise you and get the thing right. He may not be an economist. You can have people who have knowledge of how to do things, how to get it done, how to fix the economy. Get it fixed. Nigerians, there are people who know the best way to run the economy. It may not be Mr. President. It may not be those whom he has. He should revise. He should get the right team, revise his policies, get it right. Today, because of his failures, everybody have become economists. Everybody have become economists. They are advising him on how to run the country because he has failed. And he keep on telling us his gains, really at his gains. That is why I said in my opening remark that the president was only speaking to himself on the October Day address. He was simply addressing himself because only him knew what he has achieved. We have not seen it. We are on the ground. We've not seen any of his achievements.
Well, one of the things that the president has promised us, just like Director Otuekon has said this morning, he did promise that there is going to be light at the end of the tunnel. And talking about his speech writers, they should do a good job of presenting new what would I call them, new words into the president's speech. But time has actually really pressed us. There's a lot that we can react to in this particular speech, but that's the much that time allows us for this morning. We'll probably do this again. Director Otuekon Franklin, thank you so much for coming on Rise and Shine this morning. We do hope that the presidency and the president take suggestions of civil society organizations such as yours to better the economy of this nation.
Thank you so much for bringing me. But let the light that come at the end of the tunnel. Let it see a little of the light while we are in the tunnel.
All right. We hope that we see that light whilst we are in the tunnel. I mean, if we do not go out on the streets, that was Director, Otuekon also protesting in his own way. We need a little light to be able to walk through the tunnel to the bigger light. But that's the much we can talk in Wednesday's edition of Rise and Shine today. It's been a long day, and we do hope that Nigeria moves forward.
Well, for Kwaibom, we do hope that a level playing ground is given for all of the political parties. And at the end of the day, we should have a strong administration at the local government level to pilot the affairs.
Absolutely. For myself and Francis, have a good morning and enjoy the rest of our programs. Bye-bye for now.